AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
We have listeners, Robin, who tune in for our news, and we have listeners who tune in for the contests we do, and we have listeners who tune in just because it's silly sometimes. If you are one of those listeners who loves when we have great book interviews, I think this is for you. Karen Kingsbury has been with us before. She's got a new book, To the Moon and Back. It is currently number one in several different categories on Amazon. It's number one in the contemporary religious fiction category. It is number one in the Western and Frontier category. It's number one in the Christian book and Bible category. She's doing really well. The book, let's see, the date of release was yesterday. Is that possible?
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
And this is a very, oh my gosh, this is a touching story. You know, I'm a sucker for romance comedies, and I know this isn't a comedy, but it's I just love, I don't know, just call me whatever you want to call me by saying that. But hey, Karen Kingsbury, it's an honor to have you on our show. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Larry. Thank you for having me.
How come once a person gets successful, they only come on for 10 minutes?
Now, had I known you wanted me longer, I would have been there all day.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, man. Well, anyway, this is a heart-tugging book, isn't it?
This is a story. It's a love story, yes, but it's a story of surviving and, set against a pretty big national tragedy from a couple decades ago.
So, let's see. I'm trying to debate whether I want you to tell this or should I tell it. But there's a part of this that I love where the young man, and I'll let you fill in the blanks, he leaves notes at the cemetery for the girl he's wanting to get back in touch with, right?
He does, at the memorial, yes. So this is all set against the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I don't think a lot of times people move on from things like this, but these two, in my world of To the Moon and Back, they have not moved on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, but your characters are just so wonderful in the sense that this is a standalone novel. You don't have to depend on the novel written before this one.
That's right, and that's the nice thing about these recent books that I'm writing. I include the favorite Baxter family characters. The Baxters are going to be a TV series that starts here coming up this fall. People love them, but I can't expect people to have read 23 books before they would read this. So this is a standalone. You can start here. The main characters are not Baxters, and it's just a great introduction to the kind of fiction I love to write that makes you cry and hopefully helps you to think a little bit more about your own life.
So the young man in the story lost his mom in the Oklahoma City bombing, and the young woman lost both her parents, correct?
That's right. Yeah, they were 5 years old. Then they ended up going, at 16 years old, they met up randomly. They didn't know each other before that, but they met up on the anniversary of the bombing at the memorial. And this connection began that nobody understood what had happened that day like they understood it. In fact, both of their moms used to tell them as they would say goodnight to them, I love you to the moon and back. And now it feels like it's a different kind of meaning for those words, that in their struggle to find hope and to survive this loss, they feel like they've been to the moon and back, and it's just still, the greatest thing that they're trying to deal with.
Wow. Is there anything in that real story of the Oklahoma City bombing that led to this, or was this completely something that came out of your mind?
Well, I was there visiting the memorial. I was part of a Women of Faith speaking tour 10 years ago, and I was at the memorial with the group of us. We went there, and I was so touched by the reverence of it, and just these 168 bronze chairs representing the lives lost.
Oh, wow.
And particularly, I was struck by these walls, the beautiful ornamental 4 stories high walls on each side of the memorial. One of them says at the top 901. The other one says 903. Now, 901 is that minute before the bombing happened. So we all know what that's like. We've been through a tragedy or something, and we say, there's that 1 minute before it happened, before I got the news, before I found out about that loss or the accident happened. And that's when everything was well and good, and you never thought it would go wrong. 903, though, represents the first minute of healing. because the pain will go on. Sure, you'll have pain over a loss forever, but you have to choose to heal. So 903 is very much part of the memorial. It's real life, and it's very symbolic in the book.
That is very profound. Wow, I didn't even know there was such a thing there. Wow.
Yeah, you'll have to go see it.
Now, your books, they've been picked up for movies by the Hallmark Channel, and then you had said earlier that they are being developed into a television series. Does that start this fall?
It does start this fall, and this series won't be on Hallmark. It won't be on cable. It's being produced by Roma Downey and her company Lightworkers with MGM Studios, but it's going to be available to watch on a platform I can't yet talk about.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to be one we all know. Like, we all have it. Everyone has access to it on your phones, your devices, your TV. So it's going to be very available.
We can't say what it is. All right, we'll just have to guess what it is. So this has got to be really exciting for you.
Oh my goodness! I was on set for the last week of filming with the Baxters, and I started by just smiling. I couldn't stop smiling because it was so real. I had such a part in the script writing that I got to have a lot of say over it, and I got to be in the writers' room, and so it's very much like my book. There's no surprises or strange changes. But by the end of the time, I had tears, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is really going to touch people." It's like a faith-based. This is us. It's going to speak to people where this is not a perfect family. Hard things happen. They stay together and they pray through it all.
And even though this technically isn't. It is a Baxter family novel, but it's not, because the two main characters aren't the Baxters, but Ashley Baxter, whom we all love. She's sort of like in the middle of this whole thing between the two lost souls.
She is. She happens to be there at the fence when Brady slips that note for Jenna into the fence. He does this every year on the anniversary, and he never finds her. And Ashley sees something in the guy, and she feels prompted by God, really, to step in. So she takes the note. Once he leaves, she takes the note, takes a picture of it, puts it back in the fence, and then reads the letter, when she's back at the hotel room with her family, and decides only she really, that she's supposed to step in and help. And, of course, her family thinks she's crazy, but that's Ashley. She's going to kind of go the extra mile and do things we don't always do, and that's why we love her so much. And so she steps in and makes a big impact in the story. And
there might be some friction between her and her husband.
A little bit, because this is a very good-looking firefighter who's 28, and he's this guy who he's been on calendars and whatnot, and it's kind of her husband's like, now tell me again why you feel the need to reach out to this guy and help him find this.
Yeah, really. Why should I be jealous of a fictional character, huh?
That's right.
You know what is nice to know? It's nice to know that stories that have a faith-based base, I guess, that they are successful in a world that makes us want to believe that we're a dying breed. Those of us who believe in God, this is proof that we're not a dying breed. There's a lot of people out there who believe we don't have the answers necessarily, but we just believe that there is a God.
Exactly, and what you just said, that's really a big part of this. I think it's why so many people who are not necessarily believers will pick up To the Moon and Back. It's because I deal with issues like a tragedy. How do you handle it when you look and you go, if there's a God, he could have prevented this. So why didn't he? What's the deal here? And I think To the Moon and Back makes a really good case for the fact that Jesus is not the reason for the hard times we go through, but he is the rescue.
I love that.
I love you, Karen. Next time, okay, now that you told me, we can just ask. I'm going to ask. That we can have
there you go.
Yeah. Karen, thank you for sending us the book. I have a copy of the book, To the Moon and Back. This is not for resale. It says it right on the cover. If you would like the copy that was sent to me, please call me right now, and I'll just pick a caller at random and give it away. 622-9622 if you want to get your name on, your thing going, and I'll just wait till a few of you get on there, and I'll pick one at random. Karen, do you have I found the book on Amazon. Do you have a website you want to recommend?
I do. It's KarenKingsbury.com. You can go check out all the different places to buy the book, but you can also check out the video trailer that we made for this book, which is very deep and profound. I think you'll love it. It's a minute long, and that's all at KarenKingsbury.com.
Okay, let me...
Wow, the phone's lit up, too.
I know.
I love this.
Let me take one at random. Good morning. You've got the book. Who's this?
Brian.
Brian, do you know where we are?
I do.
Okay, Brian, the book will be waiting for you here.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Karen, thank you for being on the air with us. Good luck with everything. I'm so excited for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer. I didn't realize it was a trailer.
Yeah, you have to go check it out. It's really powerful. It makes me think it needs to be a movie.
There you go.
It does need to be. And where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, Nashville.
But we were there in Orlando not that long ago, and we'll come back. So we'll have to have lunch.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'm sure
our treat.
Based on the calls we just had, you have a huge audience waiting for you. Thank you, Karen.
All right, thank you so much, Larry. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. We'll be right back.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352